So hey, what's up guys, this is AK, and you are watching my YouTube channel AKM. So guys, welcome back to a brand new tips and tricks video of PUBG Mobile. The AKM and M416 might look like a strange combination at first, because both guns are assault rifles and they use completely different ammo. But that is exactly why this combination works. The AKM gives you strong close range damage and powerful shots, while the M416 gives you smoother recoil control and more consistent sprays at medium range. So instead of making one gun do everything, you give each weapon a specific job. Let us start with the AKM. The biggest advantage of the AKM is its strong damage per bullet. But that power comes with stronger recoil. When you hold the trigger, the weapon climbs upward, and controlling that movement becomes harder as the distance increases. That is why the AKM works especially well when the enemy is close. Imagine you are pushing into a building and an enemy suddenly appears around a corner. The distance is short, the fight is fast, and you do not need a long spray. Keep your crosshair around the upper body, control the recoil, and use the AKM's strong damage to finish the fight quickly. But if that enemy moves farther away, the situation changes. This is where the M416 becomes more useful. The M416 has more manageable recoil during sustained fire, which makes it easier to keep your crosshair on a moving target. So if an enemy is running across open ground or moving between pieces of cover, the M416 gives you better control for a longer spray. Now let us talk about bullet spread. Your bullets do not behave like a perfect laser during every situation. Your firing duration, movement, recoil control, and weapon handling all affect how consistently your shots stay around the target. This is why holding the trigger for too long can become inefficient. With the AKM, especially, you should avoid forcing extremely long sprays when the target is far away. Use controlled bursts when you need more accuracy. With the M416, sustained spraying is easier, but you still need to control your recoil and avoid blindly holding the trigger when the target is too far away. The idea is simple. The closer the fight, the more freedom you have to use continuous fire. As the distance increases, your firing should become more controlled. Attachments also matter. For the AKM, recoil control is important, so use attachments that improve its handling when available. But remember, an attachment does not remove the need for recoil control. For the M416, attachments can make sustained spraying much more comfortable, especially when you combine good recoil control with a sight that lets you track the enemy clearly. Do not copy another player's setup blindly. Use the attachments that make your own aim more consistent. Now think about a real match. You are holding an angle outside a building, and you expect an enemy to push you. If the enemy is going to fight you at close range, keep the AKM ready. But if another enemy stays farther away and starts spraying from medium range, switch to the M416. This is where the combination becomes powerful. You are not using the same gun for every target. You are choosing the weapon based on the distance. The same thing applies when fighting multiple enemies. Suppose you knock one player close to you with the AKM, and another enemy starts shooting from medium range. Do not force the AKM into that longer fight. Switch to the M416 and take advantage of its easier sustained spray. If that enemy pushes closer, you can switch back to the AKM. The same strategy works when third-partying. If two teams are fighting and you are watching from a distance, use the M416 too. Apply controlled pressure. Then, when you decide to push and the distance becomes shorter, switch to the AKM. This gives you a natural transition from medium-range pressure to close-range aggression. But there is one major weakness. The AKM and M416 use different ammunition. You have to carry two ammo types, which can take inventory space away from heals and throwables. You also need to be comfortable with two different recoil patterns. The AKM requires stronger recoil control, while the M416 is more forgiving during sustained fire. So practice both. Use the AKM to practice controlling strong recoil and keeping your crosshair stable during close-range sprays. Use the M416 to practice tracking moving enemies and maintaining a controlled spray. And most importantly, practice switching based on distance. If the enemy is close, think AKM. If the enemy creates distance, think M416. If you are entering a building, prepare for close range. If you are crossing open ground, prepare for medium range. If the distance changes during the fight, adapt. Do not stubbornly keep using one weapon just because it is already in your hands. That is the real advantage of this combination. The AKM gives you close-range power, while the M416 gives you control and consistency. One weapon covers the situations where you need strong impact. The other covers the situations where you need a stable sustained spray. So the next time you find an AKM and M416, do not ask which gun is better. Ask yourself what kind of fight you are about to take. Understand the recoil. Control your bullet spread. Use the right firing style. Choose useful attachments. And switch weapons according to distance. When you combine all of these things, the two guns stop being just weapons in your inventory. They become two tools for different situations. And that is why the AKM and M416 can be such a powerful combination when you actually understand how to use them. So guys, that was all for today's video. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more PUBG Mobile tips, aiming guides, movement tutorials, and practical gameplay advice that will help you improve faster. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.